Representing Cal State Fullerton, head coach Rick Vanderhook, shortstop Timmy Richards, reliever Tyler Peitzmeyer, and the starter Thomas Eschelman. Coach, if you'd begin with an opening statement.
That was a good baseball game. I thought two teams went toe-to-toe. We've been doing this for a couple of weeks now. They got a couple pitches late in the game, and they hit them. And that last one went over the fence, and give him credit. You got to hit it to do it. And he hit it, and he hit it good. And we lost.
As I open the floor to questions, as a reminder, please silence your phones, and all video recording devices are not allowed in the press conference room. Also introduce yourself as well as the agency you represent.
Steve Sellner, NCAA.com. Rick, when was the decision made to go to Hawken after the delay, and when did you tell him?
We made it about 30 minutes before the game. He's got a good fastball. We wanted to go with, we knew he was going three hitters. That's what he was doing. And, Xander hit it. And then he walked the guy, and then he struck the guy out. I mean, we were talking outs, and, to have Peitzy go out there for that long, he's had some good stints, but he hit the ball pretty good against left-handers, numbers-wise, so we rolled with that. Hawkins been throwing the ball well for us.
Adam Sparks, Tennessee. And Tyler, can you just kind of take us through the at-bat of Kendall there at the end? What type of pitch was it? Did it seem like it was good off the bat?
The first pitch was a fastball. Got around on it pretty good. And then went slider. It was a good slider, and then he just got a hold of it.
Front row here, Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Coach, I mean, how disappointing was it yesterday when, Thomas was in a rhythm there to have the delay? I mean, how much do you think that changed ultimately the outcome?
Hindsight's 20/20. I'm sorry, but he threw the ball pretty good to wheel in all those guys. And so, it probably made a difference, but, probably made a difference for them on that too. They had a little bit more time to go, and we both had the same chance. So that's the way it is.
Back row.
Hi, I'm Marcia Smith from the Orange County Register. This question is for Thomas. Can you talk about the momentum shift and your team emotionally, Sunday night up on Vanderbilt and then having to wait, and how you felt this morning?
I don't think we're going to use that to an excuse. I think we came out today and we were ready to play. They put some good swings on the ball and we're able to hit the ball in some key situations, but we're not looking to blame the weather delay for an excuse on what happened today.
Steve Sellner, NCAA.com. Rick, what was said in the mound visit in the ninth inning to Tyler, and did you notice any kind of difference or drop-off or anything from the eighth to the ninth?
No, I just went down to calm him down. He made a bad pitch to Reynolds and just said, make the pitch and they'll hit it and we'll catch it. But the pitch was down enough, and he just went down and got it pretty good. He got it really good.
Are there any further questions?
Adam Sparks of Tennessee. And Rick, did it seem like it turned quickly there in the ninth? Obviously, you guys looked like you were well in control. Did you see it turning that quick with a couple of doubles and a home run?
No, because I think he got the next guy out pretty easily. We had the guy up. We wanted up. I mean, that's who we wanted. Numbers-wise, everything dictates that guy doesn't handle left-handers very well. And he went up there and took a big at-bat in a big moment and did what he was supposed to do.
In the back on the left.
Janice Garcia, Titan Sports Recap. For LSU on Tuesday, they have 4 players out of the top 10 in the batting average. Coach, what are you looking forward to against LSU with their offense?
Throw strikes. I mean, it's the name of the game. Seabold's going to go out and pitch against them. LSU's great, but they're human, and we'll go out and compete against them tomorrow and see who wins.
Next question to Mitch in the back.
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. Tyler, can you describe the emotions of the day, even before the ninth inning, what it meant for you to pitch in this stadium with your your personal background, and if any of those emotions, if you felt any different when you were just an out or two away from saving that win.
It's a college World Series, man. Personal didn't really mean anything. Off the field it did, but once I got on the field, none of that really made a difference. Yeah, I mean, it kind of spiraled out of hand faster at the end, but there was no personal feelings, emotions.
Are there any further questions? All right, we'll take this one and then one more.
Steve NCAA.com. My question's for Thomas. Can you just describe the emotions of going to bed at night not knowing how? Obviously, you leave a guy on third. You're rolling at that point. What was that night like for you? And when you're sitting there, waiting for the game to start, was that one of the harder situations to be in as a player?
I mean, as a player, you always want to go out there and compete, and then leaving that situation, it was frustrating. But when you play in the Midwest with all this kind of weather, it happens. And obviously, in my mind, I wanted to finish that inning, but I wasn't given the opportunity to.
Seeing no further questions, I'd like to thank Coach Vanderhook and the student athletes for joining us. Cal State Fullerton will be back in action tomorrow at 2 p.m. The home team has not been designated as of yet. Thank you, Coach.
The tale of two different games, actually. I thought last night was frustrating for the Vanderbilt side, obviously, because of how Eshelman pitched and their ability to score some runs on some walks and some big hits from their vantage point. Certainly, coming into today was a reset situation for us, and we kind of set it up that way. We knew that it was going to be a different scenario on the mound. We knew it was going to be a different attack, and the kids responded very well. We responded well on the mound to keep the game at bay and just keep the margin where it was. But outside of what Jaron did at the end, I just thought the biggest play was Xander's first hit. I just think the ability to come back the very next day, knowing it was a 3-2 count, knowing he was going to get one pitch, and just be centered enough emotionally and mentally to put a good swing on the ball, to me, was a huge, huge moment. And then in between that hit and seventh and eighth inning, it looked like we were down a little bit offensively, and then matched a lot of big hits at the end. Sanders hit again, almost in the same exact spot. Brian Reynolds with a big two-strike at bat. I thought he contained himself well, and the young guy to my right just centering the ball. That's a huge moment. You know how difficult that is off of a very good pitcher. I thought it was a good pitch by him, but it was a good swing too. So just a big moment for him and our club.
Open the floor for questions. Aaron?
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Jaron, Coach Vanderhook said, this is kind of the matchup they wanted, is left on left, and maybe you've had some struggles this year against lefties, but what was your approach there, and were you expecting that kind of breaking ball down on you?
No, I wasn't, but I saw I got some pretty good looks my first at bat, even though my first at bat didn't end very well, but I saw some good looks on some balls and kind of got my reads and came up next at bat with a clear mind and just played the game.
Adam Sparks of Tennessee, and for Tim, kind of a follow-up to that, Coach Vanderhook said all the numbers dictate that's a really good matchup for them. What is it outside of numbers and probability that maybe has a guy that performs well in that when the odds are against him on Jaron's home run?
I just think built-in confidence and experiences. You got to remember now, we faced Duchesne and Tyler J last week, so we saw some very good lefties. And that was the homework leading into this particular test, at least for this guy. I mean, you got a guy who throws the ball very well in Duchesne and mixing up pitches, and then you've got Jay with a hard breaking pitch and 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So, yes, I understand the numbers, but at the same time, this kid's learning on the run. I mean, he's a freshman, and he's seeing good pitchers, and if you looked at his numbers from the midway point to now, they're a whole lot better. So he just reacted well. You have to give Jaron a lot of credit there.
Here in the third row.
Ben Weiner with the Vanderbilt Hustler. Xander, what's your mindset going from last night into today, knowing you only have one pitch really going to the first at bat?
I knew I had to be on go. Knew I was going to get one pitch, and I was just trying to have a team at bat because we had Red on third. Knew there was 2 outs, and I wanted to get, since we had the delay, wanted to get today started off right. And I knew he was probably going to come with something to hit, and he did. I was just trying to put a good swing on it.
Mitch.
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. Xander and Jaron getting a chance to see Peitzmeyer, the Fullerton closer, for a couple innings from the dugout. Did it benefit your at-bats in the ninth?
I think seeing any pitcher, you got to take those mental reps whenever you're in the dugout. Whether you're up there hitting or not. You got to be taking mental notes on what he's attacking with, what kind of stuff he's got, what his delivery is. Get some timing. But I certainly think that helped. And Jaron got a at bat against him previously, so I'm sure that helped him.
Obviously just seeing him from the dugout, just getting his wind-up looks or his stretch looks, that's always nice. And then obviously asking the previous batters, our own teammates, of what they're looking at and what they're seeing.
On the right.
Steve Sellner, NCAA.com. Xander, how many different ways did you play that at bat over in your head? Were you, thinking fastball the entire way?
Well, with 2 strikes, we have the hitting approach of, a fastball away. Because, working out to end, you don't want to be out in front of something with 2 strikes. You could come with a breaker. You want to be ready for everything. So, whenever there's 2 strikes, I'm ready for a fastball and adjusting to anything else. And I tried not to run that at bat over in my head a bunch prior to, really. I just wanted to come in with a clear head and compete.
Sleeping wise, you didn't think at all about it? You just kind of let it go until you got to the ballpark?
Absolutely.
In the back.
Tim, Rich Kipest, Omaha World Herald. Did you anticipate what you got from John and Kyle today, and maybe flash back to the role your bullpen played here last year and getting where you guys did?
Well, I did. John's pitched very well his last 4 outings, so he's thrown a lot of strikes. I thought he attacked the zone well. It's a little bit different when you're out there for the first time. Now, John, I think his experience last year against Virginia helped him going into today, but yet it's a new year, and for him to get on the mound and throw strikes right away was impressive. And you could say the same thing about Kyle Wright. Runner on second base, he's got to keep him there. He did a heck of a job stranding him, but young freshman getting in there, throwing strike one, is certainly a mature moment for him.
We'll take 2 more questions beginning here.
Adam Sparks, Tennessee, and this is for Jaron. When you come in as a freshman, first College World Series, a lot of players envision what would be the best moment they could have. A walk-off home run would obviously be at the top of the list. Did you ever envision this or dream this, that something like this could happen in your first game?
Yeah, I dream a lot. So and I dream a lot about big moments. But obviously, just hearing the guys talk about their experiences last year kind of made me a little bit more comfortable. Obviously, coming in here as a freshman and not knowing what it's like. So, yeah, I felt pretty comfortable today. So, yeah.
Any further questions right here in the front?
Yeah, Coach Brad Hardcastle, TCU360.com. Coach Corbin, who do you plan to throw against TCU tomorrow? And also, they're a team you lost to earlier in March in the Dodger Classic. What has changed between these two teams? And can you talk a little bit about what kind of team TCU is?
Well, to answer your first question, I'm not sure yet. We'll have to get back to the hotel and talk about it a little bit. Yep, I realize we played them first game, but there's a lot that's happened between then and now, and a lot of it is that game probably doesn't have much significance anymore. What type of team do they have? Very good team, obviously. They pitch very well. Older kids, older, experienced kids who have been here before, a little bit like us. I think we're a little bit younger. But they know how to handle themselves, and obviously by what they did yesterday to a very good team is a little bit eye-opening. So when we get back to the hotel and give these guys some rest, we'll start to think about them a little bit more. But we, like a lot of things in life, we want to enjoy what's going on right now.
I'd like to thank the student athletes and Coach Corbin for joining us. For individual interviews, please coordinate with Kyle Parkinson, the Vanderbilt SID. Home teams have been set for games tomorrow. Cal State Fullerton will be the home team in Game 1, and TCU will be the home team in Game 2.